today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the Hasbro Marvel Legends series, Yondu. Yondu comes packaged with a crossbow, or a bow, I should say. Comes with a quiver of arrows, and also comes with a standalone arrow. Package art, you've got a picture of Yondu up at the top corner. Above his very large mohawk, a choking hazard. Small parts not for children under 3 years of age. Spin around the back of the package. A small read-up says a natural mystic, Yondu travels the galaxy as an elite hunter, tracker, and archer. That is also carried over in several other languages as well. Be on the lookout for other Marvel Legends series from this wave, consisting of Captain Marvel, Spider-Man Noir, Marvel's Triton, Hulk, Yondu, and first appearance Iron Man. To check out more, head over to www.hasbro.com. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. But when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the new Marvel Legends series, Yondu. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Now that we have Yondu out of packaging, let's get a better look at the figure. Coloring-wise, probably the first thing we could talk about. Coloring is very vibrant. Looks like a very mature Smurf. Like a BA Smurf, and you know what BA stands for. Yeah, it's really cool though. I quite like this figure. The coloring of this blue certainly stands out. And then you've got complementary colors of the cranberry on the shoulder area here, which also carries over down to his Buccaneer style boots. He's got a gold belt there, which also carries over to the little bracelet and arm band that he's got. Not to mention, get a load of the mohawk that this guy is sporting. He's a very complete looking figure. Face is one of the better Marvel Legends series, I have to admit. Face is quite good. The mohawk is slightly on the warped side, but it's passable, if you ask me. The gold even on his armbands, which could have potentially been a little more disastrous with QC, ends up looking pretty good, actually, all things considered. He's very clean, like I said, very colorful character. I think he translates extremely well when it comes down to the Marvel Legends series, smaller scale figures. I would say he's, in fact, probably one of the better figures from this wave. He comes with a couple of accessories, one of which being his quiver of arrows. To get it over his shoulder, of course, it's not long enough to fit over his head, so we can go ahead and just pop the head off the ball joint. Wiggle this up, stretch it over top, and then revisit the head. The beauty of ball joints is so very easy to change stuff out. And then you can get his quiver on his torso there. The quiver I kind of wish had a little bit more coloring to it. Sadly, it doesn't really have a whole heck of a lot. But it's not quite the same color as the bands and the wristband there. Not quite the same color, but I suppose it's close enough to be passable. Again, also to the belt, which those come across a little bit more shinier metallic, whereas, of course, the quiver comes across more just a matte color, almost the same color, not quite though. The other accessories that come included with Yondu comes with a bow, and he also comes with an arrow, one standalone arrow. You can just put the bow into his hand, depending on which hand, of course, you would like to use, and then you can have the arrow in the other there, just like that. He has a lot of accessories, really, all things considered. Marvel Legends series figures, the 3 3/4 inch especially, are notorious for having very little in the way of accessories. Yondu comes off pretty lucky, if you ask me, coming with both a quiver, a bow, and an arrow. Let's go ahead and just take these out of his hands. Take the bow out of his hand. We'll leave the quiver in place for the time being. Of course, when it comes to his posability, it's on par with what you would expect. His head being on that ball joint, as we've already had a look at. Shoulders, hinge joint on the shoulders. He has a swivel hinge joint on the elbow, allowing the forearm also to rotate, which also alleviates articulation in the wrists. The wrists are now, there's no posability at all in the wrists. He doesn't seem to have any waist articulation, but he does have a good range of motion in the legs via the ball joint that's attaching the thigh to the lower torso. A double hinge knee, a rotation right at the very top of the Buccaneer boots that he's got, and also a hinge in the foot. Why oh why we still don't get display stands is beyond me, but at least Yondu here does get his fair share of accessories, which is something that, again, most Marvel Legends series 3 3/4 figures don't tend to get much anymore. Yondu actually turned out pretty good, all things considered. Even if you don't really know the character all that well, you gotta appreciate this little blue guy because he does bring a lot to the table. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Marvel Legends series Yondu. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more Toy Spots heading your way. Of course, thanks for watching. See you next time.